Not very happy about that, and I've got to get to the bottom of it, and I might go back to the old software. The main reason I moved over to this is to do this. Watch. Oh, yeah, baby. But
I can't see that. I'm so jealous right now.
Oh, it's the transition. It's what's called a stinger wipe.
Oh, that sounds pretty stingy, man. That sounds pretty fire.
We'll get to see it at one point, and yeah. So we'll just run over again some of the stuff we were saying at the start of the first game, as this flight path does go middle north to south. So we will see some interesting teams dropping Sosnovka. However, just in the first game, pointing out a couple of the new teams that we've got. Deda here with Fricky, who retired a few months ago, and of course, brand new team and Lucky Girls taking the chicken last game, which you apparently got cut off from you guys. I'm really sorry about. It was a clutch against 6 other players. There was SAS and Gods of Greece, Sparta, and the last remaining unlucky girl clinched that.
Yeah, obviously, the unlucky girl being will be. Let me have a look. Gabby there with 7 kills on the board, so going to be that key player to look out for moving into game number 2. And I'm already loving this playing path here, going from the south end over to Sosnovka, because finally we might get to see a couple of these teams that drop down in the South Island, which we will see 2 different pen squads dropping over.
Looks like one pen squad's going east, and the other pen squad, game over, has the entire military base to themselves. So that's going to be in the North Island. Going to be quite busy. Most teams completely avoiding that South Island there, so it's going to get congested, but most teams are dropping east and west, which does provide for also a more even split across the map. So we're going to keep an eye out for the hot drops. It does look like there might be a double or triple here at Pachinki. That's always worth watching. Everyone loves a Pachinki hot drop.
Right, yes, they do. And we saw that kind of triple drop over in the last game and didn't unfortunately come out to anything, but maybe we see a little bit more of these contested drop locations, see more of those early game action in the team fights. Obviously, we do have to look out for one of those teams that were dominating the last game, being, of course, Invasion Esports. They pulled out a number of squad wipes, especially, of course, AMZ Lions being their first team that they wiped out, the leaders and the winners of League Season 2 out early. So they're going to be looking for some redemption moving into game number 2.
Yeah, and I think Gods of Greece is going to be a little upset with getting that 3rd place when they totally deserved first with their rotation. They're sending it to the middle of the last zone. But they've landed here in Ferry Pier with Veni Vidi Vici not too far away. And Veni Vidi Vici have landed in the west side of Ferry Pier. So they kind of had 2 choices now. They can push east for further loot, which will bring them into the jaws of Gods of Greece Spartus, or they can move west. If they've watched the skies they were dropping, they're going to know where Sparta are. And it does look like Loke is only running with a pistol right now. And no, not even a helmet. So I think they're going to choose the move east tactic and leave the west to Gods of Greece for now. So that means Gods of Greece will have more loot and Veni Vidi Vici going to be scrambling to get that together.
Yeah, I think it is unfortunately a shame that these teams don't prioritize the South Island, because especially look at this cluster of teams already inside the zone. The South Island provides a way into it potentially once these early game fights go away from Invasion Esports and the L's who comes out in that. But also look at a really interesting rotation from Invasion Esports. They now have to get back into the game early on, because 2 of them dropped over to the hard east side of Milton Power, and 2 of them did not do so, unfortunately. So Team Clown controlling Milton Power going to potentially have that advantage, cutting off Invasion Esports from 2 different sides. But it will be Zen and side, should I say, of Havoc that goes first.
Ooh, and as Jesus goes in for the Rev, Venom does continue to spray down with the DP, and that is a very fortunate find for the early game inside Pachinki. As you can see, if there isn't much armor, you're going to deal a lot of damage. Jesus on level 2. Nade's coming out. Grit was on level 1 armor. That's why that knock happened so fast there. Grit going to try and retreat and heal up. Jesus sending some sprays down. Visor has been taken down. Killshot, Heartless, and Venom still standing. And the rest of Jesus' team are moving forward right now. Nade's coming out. Abstract going in hard with full send.
Yeah, and here comes the rest of the Havoc squad here, looking to try rain down upon, Tactics as they find a second knock up here. Venom will also fall down. Hart is going to run upstairs. The king shot from the first floor. Hart will be finished off as well. And just like that, Xeno Tactics are raised out of a wrangle here as Havoc wipe them off the board.
Yeah, so crazy stuff. Pachinki over already. Really fast wipe there. Great momentum to start for Havoc, and they send the flare straight off.
Yeah, and I definitely think Havoc in control of Pachinki here have a great position again inside of the zone here. There are a number of teams that could be looking to rotate around Pachinki to get angle some vision inside of the zone area. They even have the potential to move in a little bit further into the zone onto Potato Hill there between Pachinki and Farm to secure even more high ground vision, especially over Incognito, Gods of Grief. Maybe Vici, their team also moving in as they will secure a knockup there against Regal Dragons. And Regal Dragons, we haven't seen much of them at the first game. Can they pull it off against VVV here in game number 2?
Yeah, well, Triple V did have trouble with loot at the start, so they had to go where they could to try find it, and that did lead them into the jaws here of Regal Dragons. That's a good name.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's Regal spelt wrong on purpose, or it's not the Regal I know. Reagal. Different word. Quick Google. I always like to know the meaning of people's team names. Okay, Rhaegal. Is one of the dragons from Game of Thrones, of course. So maybe that's what it is. Rhaegal dragon spelt wrong, not Regal dragon spelt wrong.
Again, epic. But look also that epic smoke cloud there. The Rhaegal dragons, they're looking to try to control over here again inside the as they will use another Veni Vici. There we go. A finish it off right as they will unfortunately finish it off. Triple V here, Buddha, and now second Caesar going to fall down. Only Meta now alive, the final member here. But this 2-2 split really didn't work out with Happy Boy coming around the flank side, and Meta now having to pull off this 1 versus 3 situation. Not looking good. They even revive their teammates on the opposite end of that building.
Yeah, it looks like Rhaegal Dragons were just straight Dracarys here on Penny Viddy Vissy, and they came, they saw, and they did not conquer right now as they are being steadily wiped out piece by piece, and there does go Meta by the hands of Hippie Boy, I think it was. Yep, Hippie Boy getting that final kill, and they turn into little puffs of green smoke there.
Loving it from Regal Dragons there down on the coastline. Then you pick up 4 juicy kills for themselves, moving into the second game here. And note also this zone. We haven't even talked really too much about this zone, specifically more sort of teams. And I think this kind of hard Eastern shift, right, it's going to be really detrimental to these kind of comfort drop picks for the likes of SES, and also, again, for the likes of Prophecy. We do know a number of these players. They're well known in the EU community for their own type of nights and game nights that they like to do. So they're going to have to kind of perform tonight here to get themselves across half of this map inside of the zone. Equally, I think... oh yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I'm honestly starting to think that SAS do like this kind of zone. I think they like to hold back Zone 1, Zone 2, suspend their time outside of the zone for the first couple of shifts, and move in around Zone 3 and 4. But yeah, we do just have Invasion Esports getting another set of points there. That's 3 kills there. And how many teams have we lost now? We've lost... They just wiped out all 3 of Team Clown in a 4v3 situation. Said Paradox are out, missed that one happen. Veni Vidi Vici are out. And yeah, Team 16 Xeno Tactics Venom, they are out. Apart from that, it does look like actually every single player standing. So no teams have lost anyone apart from the teams that have lost everyone right now.
Well, that's very true, Bigfoot. And I definitely agree to some extent. Obviously, SAS, they really kind of hold off until the late game and then kind of pop off, as you like, as well. And I think also I wanted to mention the likes of these South Island drop locations by both Penn Gunners and also Penn Game Over here. They potentially have now that access through the Eastern Bridge and into a potentially very good spot around the farm area for these 2 teams. But interestingly enough, we actually see Game Over dropping instead to go for the Western Bridge, and they're going to have to now potentially fight through 3 different teams. Specifically, we do know, of course, RA of Blue here, 2-2 split, as they try overtake Gods of Greece into this zone.
Yeah, and it looks like Havoc now pushing onto Roshawk Hill. going to be approaching Penetrate inside Roshawk. Penetrate. Penetrate Institute. Getting that long-range spray on the DP. Abstract making great use of that DP early on. Rossapest is actually down. Rossapest being the most extended towards Havoc here. Might be pretty tricky for them to get that confirmed, and I think Jesus is going to rush down and confirm this himself.
Yeah, I like that they're also sending Grit here for duo support. Allows if Jesus is not to be revived and still be a part of his game, rather make it a 3-on-3 situation. So smart tactics here, not being too aggressive for Rasabest, and as Benji and Tarzan specifically trying to move closer in. But Tarzan takes a couple spray from the side of Havoc here. Gonna have to pop back down as Benji now trying to return the favor onto them. Sauron needs to get back into this fight though, because they are out of it. I think they could definitely be a lot closer into this fight and be that flank that really Penn Institute need right now.
Yeah, I love how they're just letting Rossabest bleed out. There's absolutely no need to confirm your kills if it's going to be pressure on the other team. You might think that confirming it's worth it a lot of the time, but really, having a knocked player can stress a team out, and that stress can really aid you in the fight. So just leaving Rossabest. Doesn't like Grit's actually going to come in and confirm it now, but actually just going to ignore it. Nope, headshot there, right? So Grit does finish off Rossabest. And what will Tarzan's play be right now?
Yeah, very unfortunate positioning. I think the positioning there is just off for Institute, which is weird to say considering that they actually did have good positioning in their first initial team fight in game number 1, right? Versus Xenotactics. So they do look like they are potentially not completely gelled as a team right now. There's still room to maneuver here for this squad moving into their first league, and Havoc would be a good way to prove himself in this second game.
Yeah, and Rossabest was just pushed out like a good 50 meters, maybe 100 meters from the rest of the entire team there. So getting knocked, there wasn't much they could do. Grit gets hit quite bad there actually from Sauron, I think. But Abstract, Naughty, and Jesus still on full health and still pushing. Jesus is very keen here in the UAs to keep pushing forwards. This is me in classic games, and it will often end badly. But it's very fun just to send it. I try not to do this sort of behaviour in scrims.
Right, as that zone will continue further north, and that will be quite a hard and difficult shift, I think, for a couple of these teams. And specifically, look at Incognito right now, already in the zone. Now they're rotating up north, and the Deja flanking round currently RAF Blue to the other side of them. So potentially looking like an engagement from Incognito onto RAF Blue.
Jesus does get one more shot into Benji there. Benji actually goes down to Abstract. I have to jump over to Abstract's point of view here as they are much closer. Here, Sauron and Tarzan standing. Sauron going to try and spray down, but no. Abstract pushing towards the building and catching the peak before Sauron caught the push. Abstract now spraying various windows, hoping to get something off here. Naughty pushing in as well. It does look like it is all over for Institute with Tarzan, the last one standing, about to get backstabbed. Only one bullet hits. And it probably is all over right now for Institute.
Yeah, down go Institute, and 4 members still alive. But the fight hasn't stopped down on the south, though. And Incognito now surrounding the side of RAF Blue as Badetras get knocked down. But Incognito, they confirm another one onto Seth here.
We will jump down there. Very tricky. Is that the last one standing? And they're just coming in there to see it all finish off. Now over to Invasion, driving across the map, driving straight past... sorry, got too many things up on the screen. Driving straight back past Team Incognito themselves there. Some spray comes out, but Invasion are going to keep driving. Unlucky Gills actually also currently fighting with Riot. I'm going to see if I can track them down, and it does look like... just as I try and get there, sorry, it looks like Riot have taken out Unlucky Gills. And that will be 4 kills for Riot, I think. Oh, they're actually on 8 altogether. And look at that, Get Good on just 5 HP, revving the rest of the Riot squad. That must have been an extremely close fight. Sorry, we missed it. But here we have Riot revving up, 8 kills, and all 4 of them still alive.
Well, Riot, you know, by the skin of their teeth, they take down the Chicken Dinner winners from game number 1. And they still have potentially a ways to get inside the center of this zone. I think specifically AMZ Lions looking so far the most comfortable in terms of positioning, but certainly where they are on the map. Yes, Pollyanna is a massive area of the map that will be potentially a little bit impactful if teams start to rush onto it. If the zone does close around it, they might struggle, of course, to handle such a big area of teams and players coming inside. But on the west front, still looking like now Prophecy going to try fight up against Havoc.
Riot Prophecy here, Ghost being the leader, and Panda co-leader of Riot Clan of this team as well. They do have Diva as well, and they've got Xena up on the top there. Xena, absolute queen of Death Race, alongside the King Shreks. It would be great to see Shreks come into the Clan Wars here, and they're getting heavily damaged there. Havoc causing a lot of grief to this game tonight. They're really raking in the points here, the kills. Diva's about to go. Oh, Diva is down, sorry, yeah. And Xena has been down too. It's all on Ghost, but versus such a strong full squad, I don't think there's anything Ghost can do right now.
No, Havoc there will finish likely Ghost off. There's no real way. Ghost getting flushed out from two different sides and will fall down. And that was just a bit of a misplay, I think, from Prophecy there. They went 2-2 split and got completely rushed against 4 versus 2. There was no real frontline protection and no real protection from the backline there, specifically Bigfoot, because they couldn't even see inside that barn house straight onto from where Havoc were firing.
Havoc just seem to be so effective in every push they've done so far. They might actually be bringing a serious extra level to this league, and this is exactly what we said we wanted last season. We were talking about how the levels were increasing with the teams that were already involved, and it would be great to see some even stronger teams get themselves registered, and it looks like we've had that this season.
Well, let's hope so. Let's hope so that this continues through the rest of the weeks, because they have a little bit of a tougher opponent here, looks like, across the river. SAS, if that zone does shift against them, could see both those teams face up against each other. Down on the south end, though, still a couple of these teams to rotate in. Penn, Gunners will need to make their way inside, which they will be doing so far, as well as Elves and Grassroots. They've not quite found each other just yet, but they are pretty close. This zone will surely and very shortly shift down to another phase.
Ross Best in the chat here saying, "I'll remember this guy that finished me, mark my words." I laughed and said, "Mate, you're on 4 HP. They gave you plenty of time to be revved, but they pinned the rest of the squad so well. That Rozhawk's Hill high ground and just continually pushing and spraying into Rozhawk prevented Tarzan and Benji and co from getting that rev off, and Ross Best did just have to bleed out to the last 4 HP, where I think it was just 1 or 2 9mm bullets or so finished him off there. And looks like we've got a bit of a grudge starting already.
Right, as this zone now moves over, a hard shift against both Havoc and SAS, which is what we kind of predicted here, as they will now take that two split here. 2 scouts of Jesus and Abstract, they're going to be moving into Gods of Greece, but interestingly, around the S09 Pollyanna is really the only compound here for these players to take control of. The rest of it, fairly open ground here, Bigfoot.
And Dead have been in the middle for a long time. They've actually been sat up by this airdrop, this flare drop that they sent off at the start of the game. They've just been sat in this compound. They've obviously got enough loot. They've got enough meds. They've got enough armor. Dead Duxie here, one of my favorite all-time players. Just chilling on the rooftop in a ghillie suit, watching Incognito move their cars around. They're actually going to start sending off AWN shots. I've seen Dux rush through a solo lobby once and get about 8 kills with the AWM. So what can Dux pull off in a squad game with it?
Well, sounds pretty scary indeed, but Gods of Greece, they are being scary right now themselves against Havoc. Looks like they might have met their match here, because now a 2-2 split. It's now just down to 1-1. We've also game over. He's moving in behind. Could be that third party onto Naughty.
Oof, Naughty does spray down Kronos as Kronos gets a little bit eager for the first right now. So can the rest of Gods of Greece Sparta do anything about this? Naughty is over there actually, very low health, and will be SAS by SAS will be VSS'd by Echo. Really nice shots there. Love to see people taking the VSS into later parts of the game. It's a pleasurable weapon to watch, but a hard weapon to master. And yeah, wait there. Where is this still alive? Did
Nope.
Jesus escape? Jesus died amongst all of that. Yeah.
He's gone to heaven,
Yeah.
Bigfoot. He's back up there, upstairs, and we will see him in game number 3, though, come back down onto the ground of Sandhawk. But before we get that, we still got all the action here on Erangel, and this is still 13 teams alive, and 20 minutes now into the game is phase 3 still continues on. Multiple teams here on the eastern side as Gunners might find themselves a fight versus the side of Forehead United.
He does get taken down by King there, but King only on 5 HP. I love it when the person on the outside of the building can outspray the peak, because it really should be the other way around. But that is what you get used to in TPP. And in FPP, it's a completely different story. The peak doesn't necessarily have the advantage. If you're rushing towards a building and you're keeping an eye on those peak zones, you can sometimes catch them unawares. Bit of pre-fire from Vish as he pushes around the corner there up the stairs. Will be taken down by Ames.
And here comes the rest of Forehead United, this 3-man squad, but a grenade wipes all 3 of them out here and deleted away by this side of Gunners as a triple frag for their squad. 8
still spraying.
Still stand to dead.
Menace, mate. Oh my god, they've got no idea. They've actually wiped the full squad. They're still throwing nades and sneaking up the stairs. Oh, they mustn't have counted the kill feed. Too much going on at one point, but they have absolutely obliterated Riot Forehead United.
The Gunners will be happy with that one as they whack him off the map and now move into the zone here as it closes into now phase 4.
Oh.
We're starting a little bit spicy. We're starting a little bit faster on the action here. Phase 4, phase 5, phase 6 going to be moving right at us.
Wait a second, mate. Riot killed themselves. There's 1 team kill on Pen. We have a bot of the night.
Oh, what a night! Let's go! What a night!
Pen only got 1 kill.
Yourselves.
Pen got 1 kill out of all of that.
Well, if you do hold a grenade too long, expect to be blown in the face.
Mate, I wish I caught that from within the building there. I was watching the push. I love to be on the pushing team side, right? So I was with the pushing team. I saw some nades thrown. I thought they got it. But no, it looks like the majority of the squad killed themselves.
That's tragic. That is pretty tragic right there. But maybe the side of Gunners here will manage to find a couple kills versus Incognito as they will now press their next building here. Incognito, they sat around the mansion the entire game, but now we need to move. Will they be able to get these kills on board as this zone really closes in with no ability to hide? There's only really the compound that Vix boys have in control for the high ground advantage here.
Gods of Greece also pulling up on Invasion right now. They've taken out one of the other strongest squads so far. Can they finish off Invasion? One of them goes down. Only 2 of them left now. Only Boy and another Chinese name. Ooh, and nade does get out. Medusa. No, mate. We got another bot award. They're nading themselves. Why is everyone nading themselves tonight?
Stop it. Get some help.
Was that Medusa?
Get some grenades, help people, because you can't grenade yourselves. Come on, Gods of Greece, feeling the pain as Invasion Esports now move their way in. But look behind us, SAS, a full squad. If they're going to pull out some aggression here, now's the time to do it, because the utility's flown high already, and now they could strike.
That is insane, man. Medusa must have hit a rebound or something. I want to check the kill feed on both of these bot moments. And obviously, Riot got the full squad wipe, so they do get the bot of the night. But actually, yeah, I'm going to just say in the chat, ask them to keep an eye on the kill feed. For me. Keep an eye on the kill feed in the Riot fight, please.
Oh man, I just watched a beautiful team fight there on north side. AMZ surrounding Gods of Greece Olympus and taking him down. But I'm so upset that SAS here, they're not being the aggressive team that we perhaps suspected them to be moving into the late game stage, because they're holding back from potentially 4 or 5 pretty easy kills if they play it right here, coming around the backside. And AMZ, they're not going to be able to really pressure him at all from behind. There's only that squad that can move in and wipe out these final 5 players around this sort here compound. And equally note as well now, as we see, it does look like Regal Dragons there.
Maybe SAS are taking a leaf out of a fellow Irishman book, Conor McGregor, right? He said, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. And maybe their patience is their aggression right now. We see it paying off. We see SAS's patience and what you might deem slow or not aggressive, actually being aggressive in the long run. You see this, old boy nearly down.
Well, old boy on a sliver of health, can he find Medusa, and Echo has to revive his teammate, but Echo's going to deny that away. Down they go. Echo only now going down in return as well. Can Medusa find this 1 versus 1, or will Invasion Esports take it away? Yes, they do. Invasion Esports stay alive with 2 players, but they are split right now. SAS now finally have vision over his compound, and there's no easy way for him to recuperate here.
Yeah, now is the time for the SAS to push if they're going to, but without a vehicle, they do have open ground to push through. And in FPP, sorry, in TPP, that would be really, really dangerous. FPP slightly less so if they do it all as one, but they are actually giving Invasion Esports the time to get the rev. They're slowly edging towards the compound. I think they might have just caught sight of Only Boy creeping there. They know a rev's coming in. Q and Psycho and Danny are rushing in now. Dipuk staying slightly behind in case anything goes wrong. Vish actually sprays down Fricky with a Scar L. And right now, Q and Psycho are going to make this flank. They have no idea where they are.
Yeah, can they find Invasion Esports? They are on slivers of health right now. Q rushes down one, Psycho onto the other. Grenade flies down high, but it's not going to matter. And that will be finished off by the gun line in front. As SAS secure himself 2 kills here, up to now 4 in total. And as you see on the other side of the map, it will be Penn Gunners. They're taking a little bit of a chip away at the side of Fix Boys.
Oh,
Fix Boys here being surrounded.
4 team kills, pretty good. And looking around the map right now. Oh, Vish does get, oh, nightmare. That will be Gunners taken out by Dead there. AMZ looking pretty comfy. Incognito right in the middle of the circle, and SAS now having to make a rotation. Psycho driving around the surfing the edge of the zone. Interesting rotation from Psycho.
Yeah, perhaps obviously that scout there just to send out 1 player. I'm surprised that obviously the rest of them aren't really moving here too fast. They need to get inside this zone now. Phase 5 is going to be a little bit more dangerous, especially as they move straight into the face of Grassroots. They're going to try uproot SAS here inside this now Phase 5 zone in this rock. Can they do it though? No, they cannot. SAS will wipe them out as they invade over their rock here, finish them off and put them out of the game.
That was bit of an unfortunate putting up by Psycho there. Couldn't quite put up behind anything and did get sprayed down. SAS putting into zone also got dealt quite a bit of damage. Devious, last one standing for game over. 5 team kills, pushing into 4th place. That is pretty good. And reports from Matitsu says it was right. Get Good on kill feed. So that is actually the first bot award for Get Good. Welcome to
the bot of the night.
Welcome to the season and welcome to bot of the night.
Right, and I love also in terms of the Mofo killer of the night right now, and the Mofo team right now in this game is really AMZ. They're beautiful split right now, 1-1-1. Here lining across the border of this zone and making sure that Incognito can't really make any moves. And War Machine, although they're taking SAS out, look at the positioning from Devious. Very sneaky here behind AMZ completely. Still came over alive in his final 4 teams.
Maybe shot a little bit too soon, but also maybe going to get this kill on War Machine.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it from Unlucky Girls. You know, they managed to pull out the chicken dinner, and Devious has been pulling game over by his feet here, dragging him into the final 4 teams. But Devious getting some shots in, barely staying alive, and now AMZ focus on to Devious. It will be likely the end of him. Down he goes and accepts his fate there as War Machine finishes him off. SESM making their way inside from this zone will likely be finished off, and low health bars as Incognito finish him off. But Rebel also on the flank side, putting pressure onto Incognito, keep in mind.
This is exactly how you want to be in a final circle. On the other, if it's a 2v2, sorry, it's a team v team situation, have half of your team on one side and half on the other. So Rebel being out here, as long as Rebel can find the right amount of cover, this is going to be absolutely perfect. Describe does get a nade on, but Dejas. Rebel is also throwing nades from the other side. about to send some shots in and does actually M249 guard. It's going to be very easy now for AMZ to finish off, and they do take chicken dinner.
Yeah, beautiful grenade there onto Incognito from the Scribe. A second to finish off that game. As we do see AMZ there returning to form from a pretty lackluster game number 1 as they take the chicken dinner with a juicy will be 9 kills there.
I'm going to just rush through these, not rush even, just run through these scores now. I haven't got a rush to restart the stream. So, like you said, juicy 9 for AMZ. Incognito with a total of 9 themselves as well. SAS, 4 kills in 3rd place. Penetrate game over, pushing up to 4th place with 5 kills. Not quite managing to get any flanking AMZ at the end there, Devious, but he did try. Grassroots, probably the Dragons, I'm guessing, because they have a member in there called Dragon. I need to get used to some of the team names, some of the member names of each Grassroots team, to be honest with you. I'm going to guess that's Dragons with 7 kills in 5th place. Dead there. 4 kills in 6th place. Penetrate Gunners, 5 kills in 7th. Invasion Esports, not quite as dominant as they have been in other games, with a total of 6 in 8th place. Elves there, 0 kills 9th. Incognito, 0 kills 10th. Gods of Greece Sparta, 3 kills 11th. Gods of Greece Olympus, 1 kill 12th. Riot Team, Ain, Sweet, Get Good, and Goddess. That is the combined foreheads. Is that right? Yeah, Forehead and United, sorry. 8 kills in 13th place. Jesus with 6 kills. And the whole team there, Havoc with a total of 12. But going out in 14th place, those 12 points are going to mean a lot to them without those placement points.
Yeah, of course, down in 15th position, we've got the side of Riot there in 16th. We got even the further to Unlucky Girl, 17th there with RAF, and 18th, unfortunately, there with Penetrate Institute. 19th Team Clown, 20th will be VV, which is VD Vici, ZPX in 21st place, and 22nd up the rear there. Unfortunately, it does look like Point Incognito Ice, if I had to guess.
I'm going to have a check on these clips now. I might have been able to arrange fix the problem we had in the past with no audio. However, I might have picked up Highland Wolf, and if that is the case, I need to switch it again. So it may as well pick us up both. I have to pick up both. So let's have a little check here. Oh, VLC crash. Nope, VLC crash. By skipping that. Crashed. Okay. Really smooth, streamlined first night of the season with the technical issues. But I hope you like this flashy new thing I've got. Look, it's flashy. Look at that. Oh, it's so flashy.
Super flashy. It makes up for everything. Trust me. It's okay. It's okay. We live here for the flash.
Cheers, mate. Yeah, cheers, mate. Oh my days. Why isn't VLC working? Try a different player. I've only got one of them. Windows is working.
I have met the match potentially against some.
Okay, so yeah, we got game audio now because in the past, my previous clips they had no game audio in Highland Wolf. Now they've got game audio and Highland Wolf. So now what I need to do now is make sure they've got me too, and we've got clips that have a commentary and no webcams. That could be an easy way of making little reels, I guess. Yeah, it's nice to also get the webcams in and overlay too. So I'll put these on muted with some music for now, and I'll fix the what's being recorded. Oh, it is really good to be back, everyone. Thank you for being with us. Been really good game so far. Apologies for the technical issues in the first game, but an amazing finish that I don't know if anyone's actually ever going to get to see because my new streaming software isn't saving recordings either. So,
no.
It's a big price to pay for this transition, man. I'm telling you, a very big price to pay.
I'm not liking it. Yeah,
I'm not sure if it's worth it, pal. I mean, it's a nice transition in that. It took me 6 hours to make a 2-second transition.
6 hours is hard for, unfortunately, not to pay off here tonight, I'm afraid.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe we get a fix. Maybe we get the smooth transitions and the smooth gameplay moving in next week.
God, that is not. Listen of it. I'll show you the screen here, but you just got a little sliver of it. And what a nightmare for Riot there, blowing themselves up. They get the bot.
Yeah, I can't believe you blow yourself up. At least with some dignity. I mean, let's face it. Really, of all the ways to go, that's pretty shameful, unfortunately. But you know, it happens to us all at the best of times. You know, expect him to come into game number 3 and be much better off, be more composed moving into Sanhok, because Sanhok really is this different beast of a game. It's going to be much more fast-paced, and these decisions and the fly really need to be more in control of them.
One of the most composed teams tonight, Gods of Greece, Sparta, also naded themselves though. So it can happen to absolutely anyone. I would love to see. I'm gonna actually message Medusa or tag him and just see what happened with his nade there. That was another nightmare for them.
I mean, of course, definitely the teams, a couple of new teams, of course, with, of course, Invasion Esports moving in with the promising game 1. They unfortunately couldn't quite close it out, 4th position in game number 2. Again, they couldn't quite finish it off, unfortunately. But I think also we need to keep a note of these returning teams, right? Of course, the big teams, of course, that we need to look at. We can't forget the likes of AMZ and Incognito and SAS finish alongside Game Over. These are 4 teams here inside top 6 from last season, with unfortunately ZPX now top 5 being down at the bottom. But I think with these teams here, AMZ moving back into the chicken dinner position, if they get another chicken dinner here in Sanhok, this could be AMZ back on top for League Season 3 already.
It's not impossible, mate, and it's not impossible for them to hold that entire spot to themselves as well. Speaking of Rebel, playing with him the other day, he was saying he was unsure if it was going to be possible with the new team, but I think that might have been some slight modesty for...
I was going to say, is there any difference? Like, apart from game number 1. But
well,
I mean,
they switched Nicole out. Nicole was a very strong player, but their new player is not by any means weaker than Nicole, so as long as they can keep that fusion up and the chemistry between them, then I do think they stand a chance of winning another season in a row. But SES winning Season 1 and becoming second in Season 2 are definitely contenders to be up there as well, whether they've done amazing in this game or not. You can just see me spinning the camera around looking for Jesus there. I was trying to find Jesus, but I couldn't quite connect.
Well, Jesus, as we say, he's gone up to the heavens. But, you know, we say we're back down, he's coming back to visit us. And I think also we have to note the likes, of course, of Penn Institute, this new team, showing obviously not the best performance there in game number 2, but in game number 1, some of their team fights were very well thought out. And I think with Tarzan, of course, under their wing, right, as part of their team as well, going through these weeks, this could be a team that gets stronger and stronger, like similarly we have seen ZPX Elites in Season 2. And again, ZPX, right? It's really shocking to see them out super early on in the second game.
Yeah, this is where we've got the replay here. Vish pushing, Vish gets knocked. I mean, Riot could have really held this down if these nades just went down the stairs. If this nade just went down the stairs.
If the nade went anywhere but on top of her own team, Menace did throw a grenade in there, so of course, you know, rightly so. You know, Menace could have stolen that one away if Riot Squad didn't kill themselves off first. We obviously see a little bit of a skirmish there. Unfortunately, doesn't look like Invasion Esports, of course, take that win against Gods of Greece. Unfortunately, Gods of Greece Sparta. They're going to have to try and think about how they make it into the final zones. I think over these two last games, Gods of Greece have kind of struggled moving into these final zones. I think Sparta, this team, they got lucky, I think, in a way of their aggression and smart aggression in the first game, pulling it off to get that third position. Unfortunately, of course, being backstabbed by unlucky girls. But in this game, they looked a lot weaker, I think, moving especially into Invasion Esports, a much tougher opponent. Again, SAS in the back foot there, finishing off Invasion Esports, just cleaning up the rest of that fight.
I love just checking on Discord and seeing the drama. Not too dramatic this week. I think actually we hold a really respectful better teams here, and the drama is just a little bit humorous. Just people joking about firsting. Zeus says you've broken the no first pack because Tarzan bled someone out. I just made a little pun there. You know, SAS and AMZ holding down a no first pack on all of y'all asses.
Look at that. We got real dragons here. It's not regal dragons here. It is grassroots, so it's okay. We understand your pain as a team here. You know, if you do have one of your players so-called Dragon, it is, in my defense, very confusing if we don't know so, that you did replace one of those teams. I think also, of course, there is those question marks, right, between all of these different teams moving in, especially some of these new teams, about how they can really close out a game. But I think what we have seen is this dominant performance from, of course, SAS, making it so far into the zone 2 games in a row. So if they can continue this in the final game, I think SAS really could hold out a good position, making their statement into the final game. Of course, they did get second position in game number 1. They got third position in game number 2. So yes, not taking these chicken dinners home, Bigfoot, but they are securing these kills. They are securing these game points. That is what you need to get on top of the leaderboard.
I'm just trying to find out. I could actually double check on the kill feed in the second game there. I want to find out who naded Medusa in that push with Invasion, because that could have been Sparta taking out Invasion Esports, but there was a self nade that ruined the push so much.
Yeah, it is a shame. It is a shame. The fake Regal Dragons is grassroots wipe over. Unfortunately, the side of Veni Vidi Vici falling down early on, and I think it is a shame this kind of team, Veni Vici, there they did look a little bit promising moving into season 3, and alongside also, of course, Fix Boys, another team that we kind of talk about being really stacked in terms of the roster. But both these teams, they haven't found their way into the early game so far, and potentially, yes, Sandhawk might be a better game for these squads, but you need to be good on all 3 of these maps to secure yourself a position at the top of this leaderboard.
Of this unfortunate situation Ghost found himself in, trying to nades for defense. But just running straight over the nade, Jesus just doesn't care. I'm running straight over this nade and spraying Ghost down. The Holy Ghost gets taken out by Jesus.
Yeah, I think that was just a mistake, unfortunately, from the side of Prophecy. They made that 2 versus 2 split mistake. They didn't have the frontline defenders held up strong against 4 members of Havoc with that man disadvantage. They didn't even have the cover from the back foot based on the angle on top of the roof there from the rest of Prophecy's squad. So some really strong errors coming out from them, which is why they fell down so early on in this game.
Right, so Medusa was prepping a nade. SAS shot him from behind. He decided to go out back inside and cancel, but the cancel button wasn't there, so he just released it in front of himself and knocked himself and 2 of his teammates. Wow. Where was the cancel button? Mate, you need your cancel button. What is going on?
Yeah, they were starting to go in. Of course, it does look like they were getting there, but not to be in the second game. Not to be in the second game at all.
So funny when they all start when penetrates still keep pushing a team that isn't there.
I know. You don't expect them to nade themselves though, equally in their defense, you know.
Mate, it happens so often now. I'm starting to expect it.
You don't expect this to come out.
Remember when Sons of Odin took out the
level of scrum.
entire SAS squad with one nade? All 4 of them with one nade. Do you remember that?
Yeah. I'm waiting for someone to meme it, be like, yeah, our boys has been like, yeah, much higher level scrims here, and then that clip behind it.
Flight's taken off. Some people are late, but that's your fault, to be honest with you. We have this warfare. We have war on time. Fricky says, "Can we start?" Fricky, my guy. Oh, topless selfie, Fricky. Nice topless selfie, Fricky. Right, we are back.
Is that Fricky getting frisky? Come on, man.
Oh, thanks. Hey, this win for you. It's a nice new plane skin.
That is a beautiful plane skin. That is some hot black pink right there. Plane going in.
Honestly, my favorite is still the native Canadian art. It's actually it's a native Canadian art one. Nice topless selfie, Fricky. Well, could have been better, he says. What? Okay.
You know,
I'm not sure what that joke is. I'm not sure what the joke is, but it's funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is interesting though.
Yeah,
Some gamers are complete mysteries. Who they are, the old face reveal. Some of us have selfies out there.
Some of us, yeah. And some of us have webcams, you know, and some of us have cars. I have a car.
Mate,
yeah, like.
Why don't you tell everyone what's happening in 2 weeks? It's big news, isn't it?
Oh, I know. It's so upsetting. I've got to leave the car. I'm sorry, guys. I know I've disappointed every single viewer here tonight, but you know, the car viewing and the car casting has to stop. I'm sorry. 2 weeks and back indoors.
Back to university though, eh?
Yeah, I know. Would have been a year. Can you believe it?
You didn't have time for me.
I tell you what. Oh yeah, I always have time for you. Don't you worry, Bigfoot. I always got time for you.
We might try triple casting, because Evan's actually building a stream studio 3 times the size of mine. So I'm going to give him some help getting it up and running. And I don't think there's any reason why we can't, especially for Death Race when there can be some lulls in the moments.
Oh yeah, for sure. Death Race, you know, get it that TriCast going in there. But I tell you what, already starting to get with the kills here, as it does look like Riot though. They are starting to face also VVV. They're facing off L. So choose where you want to go.
Well, I landed in boot camp, but I got a drop glitch. So right, Gods of Greece doing pretty good. Zen almost dead. Yeah, and Docs. So Kampong, yeah, Kampong. I'm going to put the iPad on Kampong. I'm going to stay in boot camp now. I've got the glitch sorted.
Oh, and look at that zone shift as well, Bigfoot. Well, we see obviously this fight happening, but this zone really south out of those teams. There are only a couple of them, a handful of these squads inside the zone, and if that continues to shift down to the ocean, that could be really interesting. Equally, if it shifts around all 3 of these islands. But in the boot camp, still going to be these kills going off, and actually there's going to be a dead squad here. It's actually the first out, unfortunately, is to make that a second squad of ZPX out again early on.
Oh yeah, that will be ZPX and Kampong. Fricky finishing them off there. And nightmare for Ant-Man and Co. Heartless and Naughty were actually just a duo, so they got a kill each, but they were taken out in last place. So they kind of did some good denial of points to some of the teams that have the potential to go a bit further into the match. And as I turn this music off, I'd just like to remind everyone this is Jetsam. The link is in the YouTube description there. Scottish producer. Scottish Codecaster. We're all about Scotland up here. I've got Scottish roots myself.
We've got Scotland support right now and all over his scrim. But I tell you what they did do in the side of both Heartless and Northby. They reduced Gods of Greece Olympus down to just 2 members, and that's really going to be tough on them, considering that they've now still got this full squad of Prophecy here, who are also going to be looking for this good result moving into this final game after a couple disappointing moves in that last game, as we already mentioned.
Oh, Fricky's in the States. You know, if you didn't know, Fricky retired a couple months ago to become a basketball player, professional basketball player, but now big chilling in quarantine. And I've got a funny anecdote for you, right? There's a German football team.
Okay.
They were going to face a €200 fine if they didn't turn up for the match, but they wanted to maintain social distancing, so they sent the least amount of players they were allowed to, which was 7, to the match, and they socially distanced from the opposing team, and they were beaten 37-0.
That's absolutely brilliant. That is one way to make a statement about social distancing. Obviously, make sure you are socially distancing, guys.
Xena nearly nailed herself. Xena nailed herself.
Xena, no. Oh, it's happening. Oh, I gotta close my eyes on that one.
Sorry,
Xena,
there is
please.
3 bots of the night. It is Xena. It is what's the name again? Sorry, it's a new Riot player for me. I apologize for forgetting. So 3 bots of the night are Medusa, Xena, and Get Good. Get Good.
Save
you need to get
save
good, pal.
me from these self grenades.
3 bots of the night. We've never had that. We've never had 3 bot awards in one night.
That's pretty disgusting. Xena, come on. You should be watching the stream. You should have seen what happened to use other squads. Mofo bot, on you go.
Xena in the chat here.
Cannot believe this. This is one way to start the game, I suppose.
Yo, Xena,
obviously,
forget a med kit, man. You are doing my nutting running around boot camp with 5 HP. You've even got one. Finally. Oh my god. That was really starting to make me feel anxious.
Oh man, I think they saved themselves because he didn't die. If he died because they grenaded themselves, you know, that would have been the opportunity for Gods of Greece Olympus there, you know. They're trying to give you some chances here. Obviously, around the rest of this map is Penn will secure himself a knock-up here. Penn Gunners on to one of Xeno Tactics as they try and make their way down closer into the zone, but gatekept by this 3-man lineup currently.
Got unlucky kills as well. Look, bearing down on Incognito could be interesting. Vani Vidi Visi bearing down on Elves. There's a lot going on, which is what happens in Sandhawk and impossible to keep up with. And the requests are coming in from Atitsu for you to green screen and put a car background on. I can send you my JPEG, mate. I'll send you the JPEG I've been using. And you can still be in a car.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay. I can feel like I'm outside. I'll get a fan going on the side of the screen there, just to make it feel like the wind outside as well. It's really hammering home. You know, proper Scottish weather in the background.
And I can send you some poison and needles so you can pretend there's some midgies.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I might have to swap the fan out for a head drive. It does look like they're going to be blowing over the side of the enemies here. As very Vici there do secure himself another couple kills on board. 4 in total as they wipe out the entire squad dead. Dan and Count Charlie.
I really need to learn how to say, like, what is this? I'm sorry, but what is this gamer name? Coming Gay.
Benny.
How do you say that without it being a weird bloody euphemism? And what does that word even mean, mate? Can you please explain? Someone please.
I cannot. It sounds Italian, but I can't explain it.
Someone explain this game attack. But anyway, that was a really good play by Coming Gay, and hiding behind the door there, waiting for them to push in. Did get 1 knock, but of course there was 4 standing, so it was impossible to finish off. Carbon here in a lot of trouble behind just a very small tree there, and Duxie will get a knock in. And Carbon will be finished off by Capital from the top of the hill there. Game over. Hopefully the rest of them have got some cover. Cons, what? Cons, take some cover, pal. Prone in the field. Could have easily been headshot, but going to take some cover right now. Quite a long distance, so... Cons scares me so much, man, sometimes.
It's going to be a really difficult position, I think, for the side of game over here to really escape from. They can't really go around the flank side in through the edge of Camp Charlie there on the outcrop of the land, because they get sniped out by, of course, Triple V. But of course, you have the side of Fix Boys, a team that can't be really trifled with. And I think, of course, what we are doing right now is kind of hard northern rotation very quickly, I think I might add as well, is a way to go out away from this fight. Because, of course, you have two members of Fix Boys rotating in, and potentially, if they can, well, no, never mind, Omen will be knocked. So they can't find these knockups. And Devious Cons, they need to get out of there. Use Omen as that bait, that time to escape.
I feel like some teams in this league could do with just holding down and defending the push sometimes. Game over sometimes could make use of that tactic. Maybe pushing away is the right decision right now when facing such a crazy full squad. But there's definitely been occasions throughout both leagues so far where I've seen teams get anxious, try and retreat, try and do something other than just hold down. And it has cost them a lot of either the whole lives or a few lives out of the team. And sometimes it's better just to hold down. I know it's not TPP, so it's not that easy to hold down a push, especially from a seriously aggressive squad with a good approach on you. But there's been occasions over these past couple seasons where I would just love to have seen teams just hold their own, hold the zone they're in, little bit of smoke, little bit of peeking, and just stopping that push, especially when it's through an open area like that.
Well, boot camp, unfortunately, looks like it might now be controlled with a confirm, perhaps on that knock-up against one of the members of Gods of Greece Olympus, down just to one member there, unfortunately. With these rest of these teams rotating in, I'm surprised that actually no team really opting to choose for the L compound there around the west side of boot camp or to the south of boot camp. Also, that really advantageous hill positioning, which gives you so much vision around the rest of this map, especially with a zone that has been moving slowly down to the south end, closing up a bit from the ocean though, and keeping all three islands in play currently.
You got some congratulations from Matitsu for coming back to uni. How are you feeling about it? It's been a long time off, hasn't it?
Oh man, it is. It's been a long time off, but definitely, of course, you know, being a broadcasting degree, right? This definitely helps. So I think obviously, you know, being in radio, right? We're doing all of these different things, so definitely got keeping the experience up, keeping the skills to pay the bills.
Oh, that's an announcement you can be completely free to make right now if you'd like to.
Oh yeah, that is an announcement to make. Yeah, for sure. Obviously, thank you to yourself to be part of the Bigfoot Scrimcast and be for the first time 23 months, but finally got paid for casting. So.
Oh well, that's also good news. Yeah, that's also good news. Sharing that Trovo dollar before we sacked them off. Yeah, and it's a pleasure to support that. But I was talking about the esports metro.
Oh, the esports metro! Wow, we got so many announcements to make. Man, you're really putting me out here. Yeah. Yeah, of course, the Esports Metro being a host there for the Esports Metro alongside Juicy Boy Imperium, Irishman there. Going to be on alongside of us. So keep an eye on Esports Metro, that name on Twitter there as well. But back in the game. We need to focus on Sandhawk action because now this zone is closing in. We're about to see where it's going to go and where these teams need to rotate because Sauron, they get a knock up onto Vish.
No way Sauron stole the Vish kill. Vish threw an amazing nade towards Grassroots there. But Grassroots overpowered Vish's push, being edged on that side of zone there. And then Sauron from another Penetrate team, Penetrate Institute, stole the kill of Vish away from Grassroots. And now Institute are just going to keep moving and ignore Grassroots as they take position over Power right now. AMZ looking like they're really comfortable with a full squad. No kills yet, but trying to make it south. This has been a heavily south shift. And of course, if we click on the route here, you can see AMZ landed in Paradise Resort as they pretty much do every single Sandhawk game. So I would quite like to see people this season landing in Paradise and trying to contest this with AMZ. Because AMZ cannot be getting 2 seasons in a row That's just going to be absolutely ridiculous. Diva here inside boot camp with a 2x on the M24. Diva might be kitting, actually, if I'm not mistaken.
It's going to be hard with 2x, right, to go across that distance on boot camp. But look at the zone, though. Boot camp isn't safe anymore. And really, we need to be making these rotations down to the south end of the map, where this zone has rotated to. Still 16 teams alive, and with this hard kind of shift, we now see these teams cluster up incognito on top of incognito here, as we see both incognito ice and in team incognito come on top, just below the Highland area.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Diva's kitting. I'm going to check in the chat there. Who's that? Hydeen. Like maybe a trial or a new member of Gods of Greece here on very low health. Broke Hayes gets Kavashas from Incognito elsewhere on the map. Dina has been downed. Diva, who... find out in a second. Starts to take out Hydeen. No, doesn't actually... I thought that was going to be a headshot there and Hydeen would go down. Nade's actually coming out from Mystic, but for some reason, again, doesn't quite do any damage. Helios and Hydeen. How are they going to get out of this trench of boot camp past the entire Riot squad? Because both teams need to be making it to zone right now. Zone 3, so it's not going to hurt too much, but it is going to tickle them. And when it shifts to zone 4, it's going to start hurting more. They need to make a move.
Right, and especially considering that also we have all of these teams inside of the zone right now, and they control the outskirts. They really control the advantage of all of these different positions inside, and especially now we actually also see Incognito trying to just survive. Incognito Ice trying to survive between their fellow team members here, or team enemies, should I say? Is they're gonna Team Incognito wipe out the Ice counterparts.
Yeah, so that will put Incognito on 6 kills. And it does look like Gods of Greece have finally been wiped out by Riot as well in boot camp, so they can get moving. There wasn't much health left. They managed to just hopefully make it to zone in a second, but going to start ticking their health off quite fast. There is a motorbike that they've left behind. And remembering Xena didn't have much health kits at the start. I wonder if she's even got any left right now. I'm going to check in on that. Seconds. Xena has 1 first aid kit, 14 bandages, and 2 drinks. Should be enough to get to zone, I think. But going to be very tricky playing the rest of this game. And the zone is still kind of northern, so that's going to help. If it did shift hard south again, it would be an absolute nightmare. But look how many teams they have to push through in this northern side. Ross the best down again. It looks like by the hands of AMZ. Matt asked him to describe, but also down though. I wonder if that was... I didn't see the kill feed, if that was Grassroots or Penetrate. AMZ Rebel, last one standing. Gonna actually spray down Tarzan. Oh my days, Sauron on such low health. AMZ Rebel too, but Rebel's gonna put this first aid kit in, maybe get taken out from another angle. This is extremely intense up on this northeast side of zone right now. Ross the best bleeding out. Tarzan bleeding out. Sauron putting the med kit in.
Yeah, and we do obviously see this rotation once again, obviously this hard shift rotation coming out again from Sandhawk, forcing now Grassroots into the side of AMZ. Is this cluster of teams trying to survive in the outskirts of the zone?
Looks like Sauron's going to abandon Tarzan, even though a rev could be possible right now, but Tarzan being the team leader might have called it off. AMZ have actually been wiped. Get back there, Sauron, and get Tarzan back up and move forward from 13th place if possible. AMZ
but
out in 14th. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, Grassroots are moving in, but trying to stop this revive, as you say, but the side of Penn Institute so desperately need to get on board and get them way inside of the zone. Keep in mind, on the other side of the island, though, on Sandhawk, we have SAS Pass rotating down into the western side. Have to also take down Unlucky Girls with Alexa and Tokyo. Really interesting. I don't know really what Tokyo's doing right now.
We have Hippie Boy pushing up towards Penetrate, but maybe not pushing fast enough because Sauron and Tarzan both standing now, but the zone's pushing in. They're going to get pushed down. I just see a peek of Tarzan's head. Hippie Boy going to cook a nade when he did have a chance just to spray down Tarzan. A little look from Tarzan's point of view. What can Tarzan see right now?
Yeah, take a look at how Tarzan will be playing. It's obviously pinned against the zone here as Grassroots is 2-2 split. They come in to try bottleneck them away out of this game. And also, they have this pretty open area to play around, which is, of course, going to be in the favor potentially of Grassroots as they find a pick on Tarzan as they sneak their way down a hillside, and only Sauron going to be left alive. But Heavy Boy is surely going to find them very, very shortly once they get around this rock.
I think I found the record button. So unfortunately, there will be no archive of this apart from on YouTube tonight, but I have found the record button now.
Nice. Well, there you go.
It just doesn't start automatically on OBS, not Streamlabs. It started automatically.
Well, there you go. Well, we found it. We found it eventually for next week. And I tell you what, this is a hard shift once again by this zone now into phase 5 as Triple B, they are going to have to try and move their way through to the south end of this zone. SAS, their 2-2 split has a little bit paid off now for these kills that they might be searching for just outside of the zone. Inside, though, Gods of Greece, they're going to be the ones gatekeeping it. Keeping an eye right now on Prophecy as they try and make their way inside from the edge, but I don't think they will. They've got Team Incognito, they've got Gods of Greece, Sparta holding them down, and now they will likely be out of the game, down to just one member potentially now. With that distraction of Prophecy has allowed time for Grassroots to get their way across the bush and into the zone.
This is a really textbook rotation from Grassroots right now. Under the bridge. Over the bridge as well? Are they all going under it? Yeah, they're all swimming across. Dragon just holding back a little bit. Sauron DP. Sauron OP still alive, but this zone is eating away at his health behind this rock, and I don't think there's actually time to make it into zone now. Maybe with a really fast sprint, but 128 meters to go in zone 5. But
no, not really.
But they're going away and heal on the way, and it might be possible.
If he heals his way through into this zone, that's going to be a pretty miracle run, especially considering phase 6 has just shifted once again away from him. So Sauron just going to have to try survive. It's going to be the name of it again, as unfortunately Devious Duck falls down along with many other teams here. 3 teams dropping to the side of Fix Boys, who are absolutely popping off here. 11 kills in total. First time I think we've seen these double digits play out for any team in this league so far.
Yeah, and that actually took Sauron from 9th place to 5th place in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, and that's how important it is just to keep yourself alive with that triple execution from Fix Boys. But Gods of Greece, they're trying to hold equally both against Incognito and Grassroots. But keep in mind, Incognito, they're slightly busy with Fix Boys. They've not got an easy rotation in. Splitting away here as Russia makes their tries to make their sprint inside of the zone. Duxie from the other end, but with 2 different teams and also Grassroots playing, it's just all about where these teams can potentially even try get to inside of this zone.
And Fix Boys Russia taking a lot of damage here on the way into zone. Russia actually used to play for underdogs, I guess, and I was also calling Fix Boys dead for half of this game, but you can't afford the free fitty for your name ID. I might get it wrong. I'm sorry. I should be on the ball. Oh my days! Try it on here for the MK, and there's an MK bug in Spectate, and look how those bullets went from 20 to 5, and we only heard 1 shot with a MK14 Spectator bug for sure.
Nice. Well, Fix Boys will be taken out. Unfortunately, couldn't find a way across that open roadside into the action. But Grassroots, they have found a way inside, around, out of these buildings, these little hut shacks, whatever you want to call them, against Gods of Greece here, as Dragon peeks their head over at the door. Potentially try to know, going to try finish him off. Yes, they will. From below the hut, they finish him off. Now Orbit and Trippy going to potentially fall as well. Pinned against the zone. With smoke in there. 1 grenade would finish it off, but Incognito, they're still here in this game. But Dejas wants to try finish this off against Gods of Greece. A grenade doesn't quite land in that building, bounces off. A second also bounces off again, and that's now going to be the firepower of these guns here moving in onto Gods of Greece. Both of these teams looking dangerous as now Incognito looking for their revive.
Yeah, 2 players left on each team right now. Gods of Greece under a lot of pressure. Medusa was going for getting the rev done, but there was a Dejas vantage point through the window, which really messed up Gods of Greece revival time. Grassroots now pushing towards Incognito too, but Incognito holding down the center zone, gatekeeping all 4 players from 2 separate teams out right now. Triton and Kronos just don't know what to do. Grassroots players are going to stop. Grassroots are going to gatekeep Gods of Greece, and Incognito are going to gatekeep Grassroots. It is just absolute chaos right now, but I do think Bodejas and God are going to take this because they have the zone and the cover right now, unless Grassroots pulls something extremely tricky out of the bag.
Well, you say that. Unfortunately, Orbit is going a little bit low. The grenade will potentially land onto BJ. That's just going to tickle him a bit. Put down to third of his HP. Orbit now down to a third of HP. Here's himself. Here's Trippy down the flank side versus Guard. Can they find this knock up into Guard? Could be the winning knockout that they potentially need to then focus on to Bodejas behind the rock. Bodejas getting tickled a bit by Orbit. The Trippy falls down to Guard. Now it's just Orbit to 4 as well. Guard can focus with Bodejas their attention on to Grassroots and finish him off, secure himself the third and final chicken dinner of tonight.
Yeah, Bodejas really putting stuff out of the bag there. Really high kill counts as well. Bodejas on 8, Duxie on 8 as well. We're really starting to see every season of Clan Wars level up with who can contest for the first place. I really hope a lot of these teams keep coming back and keep this sort of top 5 situation we had last time, where it was a contention between the top 5 teams. Maybe this season it actually might even add up to about 10 top teams contesting for that spot.
I tell you what, though.
What?
As well, 15 kills on Incognito plus a chicken dinner. That's the biggest score we've got so far. 35 points to beat for any team moving into the future nights.
Yeah, that is crazy, and that might be Bodejas, possibly Duxie as well with the other 2 games, heading for top fragger. And of course, at the top of the screen at that overlay, you will see it says Season 2 top fragger Matas, but from now on it will be our current season fragger, as well as the first, second, and third place AMZ SAS Incognito from last season. That will be this season's winners as we move on.
Yeah, and as we say, every point matters. We saw how much it mattered moving into the final couple of weeks from Season 2. So, yes, you've got, potentially 30 different games over a league, but the kills on every game matter in these kind of deciding final matches down the line towards the winter months here and the winter games. Is these teams will kind of get closer, get further apart in leaderboard. We just got to see how it all plays out in the future.
Yeah, Dux seems a bit disappointed, but GG. I think Dux was expecting to take this scrim by storm, but not so easily, buddy. I know you're a strong player of a very strong team, but this is not child's play anymore. It might not be tier 1 scrims, but these are very, very strong players. And look at this. One of the strongest teams, AMZ, out in 14th place. This could just go to show how hard this scrim is starting to become. Yeah. We're really developing here. It's been really nice to be along this journey and see this growth and development.
Yeah, and also keep in mind, ZPX as well as AMZ, they both had 2 games where they were down almost or at the bottom of the leaderboard. So looking at now, as you say, these new dogs coming in to really put the play onto these games and really challenge these top dogs from the last league and last season of games. It will be up to AMZ and ZPX, as we say, equally to try come back next week and return to the top of that leaderboard.
So we need to pick a mofo killer of the night as well. It's really tricky. Ooh. It's been a lot of good plays.
I tell you who it will be. And this is such an easy one for me. It will be Gabby from game number 1 with that brilliant double squad wipe at the end.
Yeah, I would have loved to have said by principle of the full send, Medusa, team captain for that team. Not often do teams do a full send like that, but however, it did not pull off, and Gabby did turn out on top. So I'll have to agree with you on that one. Would have been great to give it to that send because it was amazing and very rare to see such a send. Really good to see, but yeah, it will be Gabby. We're making a top. There's a chat now. Rosser says special frag of the night to Goddess nading herself, and I was like, yeah, but mate, one of 3 bots of the night. Making a top bot award. Yeah, there's a top bot award, buddy. Yeah, there is. It's so I'm going to type this into Discord here. Bots are get good, producer and goddess. Oh, Rasa wanted the bot. Duck said,
Man, you should have grenaded yourself.
Duck said, what are the recs for being the bot of the night? I don't know, jumping out of moving vehicle. Icons.
Hugging a grenade.
Grenade suicide. Failing a first. That was one. No, sorry, who named themselves? Getting named. Sorry, Xena. Goddess and Xena. Guys. Both used to be in Penn years ago. Not ago, 6 months ago.
Yes. Wow. adding on some age to these players. I tell you what, it has been an epic night, regardless of all these kind of technical issues that we'll figure out for next week going in. But I think we have to kind of rethink, right, Bigfoot, about who we kind of look at a